Yes, hello, good afternoon also from my side. I will shed a spotlight on some projects out of our R&I mobility program, Mobility of the Future. Start with the first slide. Yeah. Here you can see the impact objectives of applied research within our ministry, the BMK. So the first objective is to increase the research, technology, and innovation intensity of the Austrian business sector. Second goal is to develop technologies for overcoming the grand challenges of the future, like, for example, climate crisis or energy scarcity. And the third objective is to increase the number of people employed in the area of technology and innovation, with a special attention to the proportion of women who work in the R&I sector. Next slide, please. Here you can see an overview on our program Mobility of the Future. That was valid for the last 10 years. So it started in 2012 and it expired last year. But all of the projects we funded in the last years were funded under this framework. And this is why I presented to you. There were initially 4 thematic areas. Here in blue, you can see mobility of people and mobility of goods. Those were the 2 user-centric systemic areas. Then there were transport infrastructure and vehicle technologies as the 2 more technical areas. And then there evolved the need to supplement those 4 thematic fields with 2 more cross-cutting topics, which are here in green. They were added later to the program. That was automation, digitalization, and decarbonization of the rail system, and automated mobility. And all of those calls are managed by the FFG, which is the Austrian Research Promotion Agency. Just to give you a feeling about the size and the range of this program, over the last 10 years of its existence, nearly 700 projects were funded in total with approximately 227 million euros, which is also quite a lot. Let's go to the next slide, please. Yeah, so in the thematic area mobility of goods, there were 5 main research fields: sustainable mobility of goods in areas with high population density, in areas with low population density. Then the research field of multimodal hubs. Then 4th field, sustainable transport chains and networks. And last but not least, innovative means and media of transport. Let's go on, please. So this slide gives you an overview of some highlight projects I would like to briefly present to you. Here on the top, there is UFOL, electric urban freight and logistics. The purpose of the project was to create a decision support platform for companies and municipalities to integrate electric vehicles into commercial vehicle fleets. And that was also funded by Electric Mobility Europe. In the top right, you can see the project Graz Log here with the image of a cargo bike, because the idea of the project was to build in the Austrian city of Graz a hub for transshipment from lorries that transports the goods into the city, and then at this transshipment point, the goods are transshipped to eco-friendly mobility modes, like, for example, cargo bikes, or also smaller electric vehicles for the last mile transport in the city. Then in the bottom right, you can see the project Gümor, which was about a freight transport model for Eastern Austria. Those artery looking like lines there are the main motorways in the east of Austria around Vienna. And the idea behind this project was to build a predictive model to estimate traffic loads, because this helps to apply also spontaneous traffic management measures if you can predict it a bit better. In the middle, also illustrated with a cargo bike, you can see the project RemiHub. That addressed the problem of land consumption for logistics spaces. And the very innovative idea of this project is to use the spaces of bus depots bus depots of Viennese public transport. Those depots are empty at daytime because the buses are circulating, so those empty areas are used as transport hubs again to transship goods from lorries to cargo bikes for eco-friendly last mile delivery within the cities. Then to the left, you can see the project EFLOG. That was about serviceability of low emission vehicle technologies to eco-optimize future logistics and freight transport. So that project was about the effects of alternative propulsion technologies, the transport economic and the transport ecological effects of alternative propulsion technologies on logistics. And which one I didn't talk about? The bottom left, the project MIHU. The aim of that one was, on the one hand, to identify an ideal location for a MIDI hub in the city of Vienna. And then after that one was achieved, to examine the processes at the MIDI hub and to identify possibilities for the process consolidation. So the process of transshipment. And those MIDI hubs are transfer points for parcels from conventional vehicles to zero emission or low emission electric vehicles. Well, let's go on to the next slide, please. Yeah, so the projects I presented so far were funded in the thematic area of goods mobility, and now the next projects I represent to you are funded in the thematic area of vehicles technology. In this thematic area, we addressed those for research areas. First, the development of alternative propulsion systems and energy sources for all classes of surface transport vehicles. Second, research field was about liquid and gaseous alternative fuels. Third one was about vehicle electronics, networking, and vehicle automation. And the fourth one was about lightweight construction and vehicle integration. Next one, please. So here 4 exemplary vehicle technology projects. To the left, EFL, that was about efficiency optimized drive for electric bus. So the object of investigation was to minimize the electrical losses in the drive system of an electric bus. The next one, electric powertrain for work and commercial vehicles, called ELAN. That was also about an electric drive system for commercial and work vehicles, like, for example, for municipal logistics, for gardening and road construction, for waste disposal, cleaning services, and city cleaning. Because those vehicles have they have a very dynamic demand of power. They don't only need the power for moving themselves, but also the power for the machines that are integrated to them. So the power for the purpose they're actually built for. And this is very demanding for batteries. And so in the project ELAN, within this project, it was tried to create efficiency optimized electric motors for this dynamic power demands. Then the third one, T-cell. In this project, a battery cell dummy was developed for the purpose of examining battery cooling. So here a dummy lithium-ion cell was built that could be examined under laboratory conditions, how it would react to different kinds of cooling systems. And the last one was the Battery Innovation Center, BIC. Here, the new Production Development Center for Batteries. This is a competence center which provides the automotive industry with optimal support. So optimal support in the transition to e-mobility. So as well as the functional development of new high voltage batteries, it also focused on the development, implementation, and validation of new highly efficient production processes. Then let's go on to the next slide. Yeah, all of the projects I presented so far were in the old program about mobility of the future. But before, in her presentation, Sarah already explained our new kind of R&I mobility funding system with the four, which is more mission focused. And this is the first call out of this new logic, which helps to implement the R&I mobility strategy. So this spring, just I think last week, already 1 month ago, opened our our call about regions and technology. I will briefly read out the 4 call topics. First topic is technologies and concepts for mobility and supply guarantee, as well as technologies and concepts to keep rural areas attractive business and industry locations. Second call topics was about regional mobility labs for the transformation of regional mobility in Austria. Third topic, batteries and their components for sustainable electromobility. And last but not least, the establishment of a specific competence node and innovation network for research and innovation contributions to traffic avoidance in Austria. Because as Sarah mentioned before, and also Rainer mentioned before, traffic avoidance is the basis of our mobility master plan. First avoid, then shift, and only then improve. And the hard facts about this call, the budget is close to 10 million euros, and it is open until 28th of September this year. Next slide, please. Yeah, so if you have any questions, if you want to receive any further information about any of those projects, you can write me or my colleague Constanze Kiener, whose email address is mentioned here below. Thank you for the attention.